Today, on Be Something Wonderful, the law that is above all other laws, and the law of attraction versus the law of assumption. I am your host, Tom Karen. This is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I had some powerful coaching sessions yesterday, and in both of these cases, they were talking about the idea of law of attraction versus the law of assumption. One of them was some direct questions. In the other session, it was more indirect. But in both cases, they said there's some confusion, right? One of them thought that, Tom, I've got to really work on my worthiness first. So I want to know what can I do to become more worthy, to feel more worthy before I start manifesting what I want. And in another case, there was a question about, Tom, with law of, I've had teachers that said the law of attraction, that you must be a vibrational match to your desire, that there are requirements to get what you want, that you've got to be a vibrational match, and that you've got to feel good. And this spiritual teacher pointed to Abraham Hicks when she says that you can't get there from there, meaning you've got to feel good first. You've got to reach for that feel-good thought, and that you're going to be a vibrational match. And then I've also had a teacher that talked more about Neville Goddard's teaching and the law of assumption, that you've got to assume, it's about assuming your wish fulfilled and feeling that reality, feeling that fulfillment, and that it's not about being a vibrational match to your wish fulfilled. So I wanted to know what's what and who's right, and I really want to move past this. Well, guys, we're going to talk about this today and more. Here's what I want to say. All of the spiritual teachers, they're all right. All the gurus, they're all teaching from their perspective. So there really is no contradiction. It's just how we look at it and what you're doing with it, right? Remember that the law of attraction is talking about vibration and frequency. When you assume a new state, when you assume your wish fulfilled, you're also in a new frequency, a new vibration. So they're all talking about the same thing, just depends on how you're viewing it. So really, let's unpack this today and more. So I just want to first say, and this is a big point, there are no requirements to manifest. In other words, create, perceive, and receive your desired reality, other than faith in yourself, in that I am. Hear this, there's no requirements. So we could talk about being a vibrational match, but that even when you say, I've got to be a vibrational match, or I got to think good thoughts, that keeps your focus on the outside world, trying to be something, trying to do something, trying to think better to get what you want or to attract it. Right? So those are true statements, but I want to put them in a context today that you understand it. Because what Abraham Hicks has says is truth. What Neville Goddard says is truth. It really depends how you're looking at it. But I want to say here that there are no requirements. It's God-given. Right? Your ability to be, do, or have whatever your heart desires was given by the grace of God. It's yours. And there's nothing you got to do to deserve it, to be worthy, as one of my clients was struggling with. There's nothing you have to do to be worthy for it, or any other requirements to manifest what you want. It's simply a matter of having faith in yourself, in your I amness, in your assumptions and your beliefs about who you are and your relationship to the world. That's how I want to start. This is what Acts says in Scripture. For in him we live and move and have our being. So it's not so much about the law of attraction or even the law of assumption. It's a bigger law. It's called the law of being, the law of God. And that is the law of who you are. What I like about the law of assumption, that gets at that. It tells you to identify yourself as and make it reach for that higher ideal, that higher concept of yourself. So that Neville really gets to it with the law of assumption, but it's the law of being, the law of God. That's the only law. That's what Neville was pointing to. That's what even Abraham Hicks is pointing to. And even Bashar and all of the spiritual greats are still talking about the same thing, but only in their way, right? Which is okay, they're all good. And this is what Scripture says, for by the grace you have been saved through faith. For by grace you have been saved through faith. And that not of yourselves, it is a gift of God. Hear this, you've already been saved. There are no requirements on your manifestations or that gift from God. It's yours by the grace of God, by your beingness. It's yours. There are no requirements. I want to make clear. Sometimes when we think in terms of the law of attraction, we think in terms of requirements to be met, vibrational requirements, thought requirements. And then if we have a fearful thought or a negative thought, we want to take it back. And then we think we have to start all over. And we think we're not allowed to feel negative thoughts, or we're not allowed to be in states where we feel a little guilt. Guys, you're allowed all that, and it doesn't keep what you want away. It's about feeling all that and then choosing again. I really want to get to this. It's yours anyway, right? So for by grace you have been saved through faith, and not of yourselves. It's a gift of God. That's clear. It's your I am, your imagination. It's your divinity. Grace and truth were realized through Jesus Christ. This is what John 1:17 says. Jesus Christ, that I amness, that imagination within you. That's how that grace and truth was realized. It wasn't earned. It's not about deserving it. It's not about working for it. And it's not about suffering for it. There are no requirements. And it's not even about forcing yourself to think positively, right? To go, oh my God, I got to think positively all the time or I'm not going to get what I want. God is not holding things back from you when you have negative thoughts. I really want to put this in perspective today, right? So it's not about avoiding negative thoughts, getting down, because then when you try to avoid it and you have one, then you start feeling guilt for having negative thoughts. So you get even more negative. So it's about allowing all of that and knowing that you're not your thoughts, that you're not your feelings, that you're divine underneath. And that's what creates your reality. It's only the stuff you put over it and block it, blocking that divinity, blocking that flow to you, that keeps you from getting what you want, right? And it's only about holding on to the negative thoughts or the negative circumstances that keep you from getting what you want. Hear this. It's not about having a negative thought. It's not about a negative condition happening in 3D reality. It's about you holding on to it and telling a story about it that keeps you away from everything you want. That's powerful. So allow that stuff. Feel it. Right? The more you do that, the more likely you're not going to have those negative conditions as much. Right? It's just your resistance. Let's hit this a little bit more. So there's really only one law. That's the law of being. That's the law of God. That's the divine law. That's your law. That's who you are. Right? Who you are is a unique aspect of God, of that love. And that aspect has a unique vibration. And that vibration is pure positive love. And that attracts everything you want. So when you have a desire, your desire is already resonating at that highest vibration. It's only when we allow the negative thoughts or negative conditions or things that come up to send us sideways and we hold on to them that we don't allow that goodness to come to us. Do you see that? So the laws of attraction, vibration, resonance, frequency, cause and effect, and the law of assumption, all of those are talking about the same thing. All are based on the answer to this one question: who am I? That's powerful. If you answer this question, it answers with those laws, right? Law of assumption is the closest, the most powerful law in terms of this question. Because what you assume about yourself, the concept, the identity that you adopt, the answer to that question determines your life experience. Remember what God said to Moses: I am that I am. It's my name forever and ever. Why did God say? Why was that so? Because that's who you are, right? You are that I am. That's why your identity, your concept of yourself, your viewpoint, your chosen version of yourself, and the law of assumption are so powerful to creating your own reality. It's not a question of either or, the law of assumption or the law of attraction. All these laws work together. But the law of assumption gets you answering that question, who am I? That's why it's so powerful. But they're all powerful. And there's no one better than the other necessarily. There's no one teacher better than the other teacher. It's all from what perspective are you coming from? Because it's all talking about who am I? It all answers that question. Your vibration answers that question. Your frequency answers that question. Your energy answers that question. Right? So I really want to get at this, right? But that's why the identity, the concept, the viewpoint you take, the version of yourself you choose in the law of assumption is so powerful. So let's get at this a little bit more. So Abraham Hicks says, and this is what one of you mentioned yesterday, you need to be a vibrational match to what you want, and you can't get there from there. She does say that a lot. And she even gives you the emotional guidance system to work your way up from negative thoughts to more positive feeling thoughts. Excuse me. That's all powerful. But again, what you could do is start at the deductive end, like God, and assume what you want to be, right? Who are you? Well, you're that divinity anyways. And so the closer you identify with who you really are, that divine vibration, the more you'll naturally attract everything you want in your life. Do you hear that? So Abraham Hicks is not wrong. And this is what Bashar says. You can't perceive what you are not a vibrational match to, even Bashar. Talking about in terms of perception, because perception is manifestation. That is creation, right? You're only having a perceptual experience of 3D reality. So that's what we mean that's what we mean by creating reality. But Bashar's not wrong either. But here's what I want to say. When you identify more with that I amness, with that God within you, that's the divine vibration. That's your true resonance. That's what you're always, and you're always resonating at that vibration. It's not about increasing your vibration. It's not about increasing your frequency. You are naturally a unique aspect of God that's vibrating at the highest vibration of unconditional love. Do you hear this? So it's not becoming a match to, it's not necessarily becoming a vibrational match to your desire. You already are. Wow, hear this. The real you is already a vibrational match to your desire. All that you have to do is let go of everything that's not, everything that you're assuming or believing about yourself and the world that's not a match. Wow. It's not about raising your vibration. Same point. It's not about forcing yourself to think positive or be positive. That's your natural state. It's just about not hanging on to those temporal thoughts of negativity or those temporal conditions, those changing conditions, those changing thoughts. And not resisting them, feeling them, and not feeling guilt over them. And if you feel guilt, not holding on to that feeling, right? And allowing yourself to feel it, not resisting it. Do you get this, guys? It's all okay. There are no requirements to manifest or to be, do, or have whatever your heart desires, other than I am, other than having faith in your I amness, having faith that you are a particle, an aspect of God, of that divinity. That's the only requirement. And that's who you are anyway. So whether you believe it or not, that's who you are, right? Controlling your thoughts and feelings, it's not about that either, which we just talked about. All of that has you focused on looking and changing who you are not. Wow. Hear this. This is big. All of that, right? And some of that comes from looking at law of attraction in a very narrow way, right? It's bigger than that. All of that has you focused on looking at and trying to change who you are not. That's big. Trying to raise your vibration, trying to become a vibrational match to desire, trying to control your thoughts, forcing yourself to be positive, is all trying to change or try to change or focused on who you are not. You're not any of those things. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. You're not anything that changes. You are the unchangeable. You're the eternal. You're that divine vibration, and that never changes. That frequency is always at the highest level. Wow, that's big. So you are source energy. You are pure positive love. There's no separation. That's why you can never see God, because you are one with God. Do you hear this? And we're always trying to look for what's wrong or what's going on, or looking for that divinity, looking for evidence of it. The reason you can't see it is because it's not separate from you. You are that. And so if there's an observer and something to be observed, that implies that it's separate from you. Hear this. If you can observe it, then it's not who you are. If you can observe your thoughts, then you're not your thoughts. If you can observe your feelings, you're not your feelings. If you can observe anything, it's not who you are. Isn't that good to know? That means if you can observe that you're at a low vibration, that means that low vibration is not who you are. You just can't see that you're at that divine unconditional love, that vibration, that divinity, because it's who you are. Wow, that's big, right? You're not your body. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings, because all of those can be observed. Those can be perceived. That implies separation. You're not anything that's separate. If it changes and you can observe it, it's not who you really are, right? You are already the highest vibration of unconditional love. You're unchangeable, you're eternal, and you are wholly unlimited. Wow. So powerful. And here's what Neville says. This is why the teachings of Neville are so powerful, right? This is why we point to law of assumption a lot of times, or I talk about it a lot. So creation is finished. Have faith and loyalty to that unseen reality. That's what Neville points to. Meaning, you don't have to earn your desires. You don't even have to attract them. They're already within you. Creation's finished. You are already that, right? You're the holographic representative of that divine nature. It's all within you. And it's everywhere right now. And it's in all time. There is no time, right? You are just 100% pure potential. There's that 0.1% or less that's manifested or seen, plus the 99.9 plus percent that's unmanifested and unseen. But all of it is potential, because you can change that anytime, right? Behind it is pure positive love. That doesn't change. The potential doesn't change. Only the manifested changes. So what it's about, what is it about? It's about choosing, not changing. It's about choosing what you want. That's why Neville Goddard's teachings are so powerful. It's about choosing your state of consciousness and then moving there, right? Choosing who you want to be, who you want to identify with, your concept of yourself, and then resting in that fulfillment. Resting in your wish fulfilled. Going in your imagination, imagining that it's already yours, or you already are it, and then resting in that wish fulfilled. And then all thoughts, all beliefs, all assumptions form around that primary or core assumption, that core identity, that core belief. That's powerful. So you have a core, and this is what Bashar says, you have a core vibrational frequency. In other words, you have a core identity. And that identity is I am. That I am awareness, right? It's purely unique. It's purely uniquely you. So you're one with God, but you are also a unique aspect of God. But that doesn't change your divinity. It's still 100% God. It's 100% divine. Wow. It radiates purely that signature frequency of your unique being. It never stops radiating that light, that frequency, that energy never stops. This is Bashar. Perfect, right? Because what did Nikola Tesla say? If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Wow. Energy, frequency, vibration. It's said right here by Bashar, right? Those are the secrets. So it's not that Abraham Hicks is wrong, or that Neville Goddard's right, or that Neville Goddard's wrong, or Abraham Hicks is right. They're all right. They're all talking about energy, vibration, and frequency, and about identity. Because at the highest identity, that identity of that God in you, that I am awareness, that's that unconditional love. It is the highest frequency. All your desires are included in that. That's why it's not really about attracting anything. It's about just perceiving, receiving it, seeing it, and by perceiving it, by receiving it, right? By not letting anything cover that divine vibration, right? So let's hit this a little bit more. You are already and always vibrating at the frequency of what you want. Do you hear this? There's nothing you need to do, right? You're already there, right? Your identity, your concepts and assumptions and beliefs determine whether you allow them in. So it really is all about allowing it. Do you get it, guys? It's about allowing. Your identity, your concepts, your assumptions, your beliefs determine whether you allow it in. You're already there. But if you're identifying with something less, if you are fearing something or doubting this innate divinity, then you're not allowing that pure vibration to attract, to be that pure vibration, to perceive more of what you are. So it is attracting in a way. You can look at it that way, right? But it's already within you. It's about perceiving more of who you are, right? Unwanted realities will dissolve when you let them go. Do you hear this? It's not that idea that it's because when you believe something or assume something that's unlike that natural vibration, that divine vibration, you attract something unwanted. But it's not that you attract it, you see it, you receive it, you perceive it, right? Because of that, because of these doubts and assumptions that, quote, lowers your vibration or frequency, but it never lowers it, right? It just covers it up. It just gets you thinking or believing that you're at a lower vibration than you really are. You hear this, right? It's all changeable. All that stuff that changes is not the stuff that's real. What's real is that pure vibration. So the true secret, this is what Bashar says, the true secret to the law of attraction is not how to learn to attract what you prefer. Wow, this is big. It's how to learn to let go of what you don't. Wow. What's he saying here? That your desires, everything you want, is already there in that unconditional love. It's already there. It's because we hold on to things that are unlike that love. And as soon as you let those go, then you allow in other words, you allow yourself to experience, to receive, perceive, create, manifest everything you want. That's big. So that you can let in what is trying to get to you automatically by definition. Very powerful. One more time. So the secret to the law of attraction is not an assumption, is not to learn how to attract what you prefer. It's how to learn to let go of what you don't, so that you can let in what is trying to get to you automatically by definition. Wow. Because we are having a 3D experience. So we are having the experience of attraction. We are having the experience of these things coming to us. But we know on the highest plane of existence, on the highest level, it's within us. And that we're actually perceiving it. But we talk about creating it. We talk about having the experience of creating our own reality, having the experience of manifesting our own reality, right? Having the experience of perceiving our own reality. But we're already all that. So it's really more of a letting go of the baggage and the junk that we're collecting that covers all that up. Let go by identifying. This is why identifying with your wish fulfilled. Identifying with the reality where you already have it, or you already are it, is so powerful. You let go by identifying with your wish fulfilled, or fulfillment, or your highest ideal, or with your divinity within. That's the law of assumption. When you assume you already are that, when you assume you already have that, then you're letting go of everything that's not that. And you're allowing that natural vibration to attract to you, or other words, so you can perceive more of who you really are. Wow. That's the law that's above all other laws. What's the law? The law of being, the law of God, the law of your divine nature, that everything you could ever want and desire is already within you. And it's just letting go of the things that you're holding on to that are unwanted. And when you do, everything is yours. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. We have a group called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors on Facebook. More and more of you are joining. I put a note in the community board yesterday. Feel free to join. You can join us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Tom Caron, or visit our website anytime at tomcaron.com or besomethingwonderful.com. All the information is there. Until next time, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. See you soon.